Hello everybody, welcome to Deluxe Collectibles, and today I'm going to be discussing what influenced the change in the quantity of minifigures included in the CMF series. I wanted to discuss this because of course just recently we had the Marvel series revealed, and I've seen some people talking about of course missing characters in the series and how now that we're down to a count of only 12 figures in minifigure series that it's sort of limiting how many we can get. So I wanted to kind of look into some information and try to kind of find out what influenced this change for Lego, because of course you would think at first, at least I thought, that hey, if you're making like 16 figures, which is sort of the typical count that they would have, that you're gonna probably end up making more money because you have more figures for people to collect. But at the same time, I'm sure there were other aspects affecting this change as well. So I found some information on it from an interview conducted by Tips and Bricks over on Instagram with someone from Lego named Astrid, who I'll be sure to put the name of on screen right now so you can see that. So thanks so much to them for posting this information. I'll be sure to link them all down below so you can check them out. So thanks again. But for now, let's move straight on here into the question and the answer that was given. And that is basically, what influences determine the number of minifigures in a series? And the answer that was given was the recent decrease to 12 minifigures was a wish that we saw from consumers and retailers. The larger 16 minifigure series came in a larger box, and we landed on the number 12 as to decrease the box size for retailers while meeting our desires for the series. And that's really interesting to me, considering the fact that it was not really the consumers so much so, but it was actually the retailers who wanted to have a smaller box size basically for shelf space. And that is really interesting because of course Lego is sold in all different stores, so you're going to have all different sorts of setups, even just in the world as a whole. Of course, no two stores are really going to be the exact same. So I find that really interesting that that was something that they had to take into consideration when deciding this. And of course, I think with the 12 minifigure count, it does still enable them to be able to of course include all of the core characters that they need to for the series, and also have a few more niche ones as well included. So I just find that really interesting because so far with the 12 minifigure count, I haven't really had any issues with it personally. Now, part of the reason why is because I actually think it's okay, because then it saves me a little bit of money and time of not having to try to collect 16 minifigures or 18 or 20. It can go to a pretty high amount. So with 12, I feel like it's much more manageable to be able to get an entire series. Now, the only issue with this is that maybe you'll run into more duplicates of figures, because of course they still have to fill that box. Even though it is of a smaller size now, you still have to take into consideration that you don't have as many figures, but I'm sure it all kind of evens out in the end. But I just thought that it was kind of interesting what does influence that choice there, and it was something that I never really would have guessed. I mean, maybe I could have thought that it had something to do with the retailers, but I never really thought about shelf space having to be taken into consideration. But of course, it makes a ton of sense. That's why we have stuff like clearance, of course, so they can clean off all of the shelves and be able to stock the new products. So I find that really interesting, and I thought it was just kind of a cool little fun fact here. But let me know your thoughts and opinions on that. Were you too bothered when they switched over to 12 minifigures, or are you alright with that change? Is that still a reasonable amount of figures to be getting in a series? Let me know all of your thoughts and opinions down below. And if you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like, also subscribe as well if you want to check out more of my content. That would be highly appreciated. So thanks so much, and thanks again to Tips and Bricks as well for posting this interview and conducting it. I really appreciate that. So yeah, for now, I will see you all next time, and always remember, keep on collecting.